So as a young person and as a student, we might have the question, students and young people don't suffer very severe consequences when they've got COVID-19, the virus. Then why should we then still get vaccinated?
If you contract the disease, then although you do not have that many complaints, you can still spread it.
If younger people are not vaccinated, then the virus will continue to spread within the community with all the consequences. On the other side, it's also that we don't know for the future that what the virus is going to do. So if you keep that virus in the community, then it might adapt and it may become very risky for younger people.
And there's also the Delta variant, and it might even be that more young people get ill from the Delta variant. Next to that, if you have the disease, the virus will still be going on in the environment, and you can spread it, and other young people who do not have any complaint also spread the virus, and then the virus can mutate. The more virus we have in the community, the more chance that there will be mutations.
The new variants, there's been a lot of discussion about the new variants or mutations from the virus. So the current vaccinations that we have now, will they protect us against these new variants, or is that really not known right now?
As far as we know now is that the current vaccines are protecting you against the current variants, but we don't know whether that stays. For some variants of the virus, the protection is higher than for others, but that does not mean that the vaccine is not protective, because you don't have to have a 100% protection. That's not how vaccines are working.
We think that the current vaccines do protect against the variants of concern that we are aware of right now. We see that especially people who were not vaccinated in England, for example, and UK, people who were not vaccinated contract the Delta variant.
If people are not vaccinated, then they are still very prone to getting very ill from people who are vaccinated, because they transmit the virus. On the other hand, if you are vaccinated and you have this virus and you go back to normal, so you leave all the rules out, no masks anymore, the distance we also have to keep in mind, and you leave that out, then you give the virus an opportunity to keep spreading around on a lower level within the community.
How can we know that the vaccinations are safe for us to use? How good is the quality control, for example?
Every vaccine has side effects. 2 or 3 days you can feel it, your arm will hurt, but afterwards it will fade away and that's it. But there are also systemic side effects: fever, a headache, extreme tiredness, but usually they don't last longer than 3 days. If you have these side effects, that means that your immunity is working. Many people were vaccinated, like more than 100,000, and these side effects are very rare, and therefore they were not seen during the studies, because the studies contained like 50,000 persons.
So it's logical that at the end, the more people you vaccinate, that you get some side effects in some people. So that's logical. That's not because the vaccine development was wrong or something like that.
How about, are there any known long-term side effects already? No.
What we know until the COVID vaccination is that vaccines were made in a different way. So what they did now, that they made it in a completely new molecular way. That means that it's very restricted to only one part of the virus. So where normal vaccines use, for example, killed viruses, which have more side effects, but now it's very concentrated on one specific side of the virus. And also it's building the protein blocks in your cells, but the virus itself, it's not there. It's only a very small part of the RNA. And this will be degraded by the cells. That will be no leaves on. The only thing is that the protein is made and the immune defense is acting to that. And then it's gone and you only have the immune defense. So in practice, I think the current used vaccines are more safe than the older vaccines.
Vaccination is around for approximately 70 years we now vaccinate, with other vaccines of course, and there is no report that there were very long-term problems after vaccination. And that's what we think right now is the same with these new vaccines.
Wow, what can you say about the trust in these pharmaceutical companies? Can we trust them in them protecting us against the virus with these COVID-19 vaccinations?
No pharmaceutical industry wants to have a negative connotation. They do not want to have negative publicity.
Everyone is looking at it, so they cannot do something wrong. Because if they do something wrong, it will be immediately a huge disaster for them.
I think we can rely definitely on these pharmaceutical industries also because they have been checked very well. Everyone is really focusing on these industries to see if they speak the truth, if they are honest, and if the vaccines work the way they do.
How easy is it to get vaccinated?
Coronavaccinatie.nl. Put in your name, your BSN number and your date of birth. And then you can make an appointment, as easy as that. You will receive, of course, a letter at home, and when you visit the vaccination location to get your shot, you need to bring the confirmation letter and your ID. I think that's it, actually. Yeah.
When will things get back to normal? Can we go back to normal once most people have been vaccinated, or is there still some risks?
We need to be certain that the amount of virus in the community is really on a very low percentage before we can reduce everything and every measurement to prevent transmission.
If everyone is vaccinated and you keep a little bit, at least to the rules and distance and everything, then the load of the virus in the community will get lower and lower and lower. And then we will come to a moment in which we say, well, it's now at such a low level that we can relieve the rules.